we're down here in Dorchester at E-Nduro, which is a KTM experience day. Essentially, it is riding electric bikes on a motocross and trials track. I come from a background of riding sort of petrol related bikes. I wasn't quite sure how I'd feel about a bike being completely silent. I kind of felt like it might be a little bit heartless. However, it's been really quite amazing. So you almost feel more one with nature because you can't hear the bike. So you have a sense of sort of freedom, you take in more of the scenery that's going on around you, and you're not distracted so much about the sound. When you've got no sound whatsoever and you've got the throttle tapped, all you see is the bushes like rushing past and you have no concept of how quick you're going until you have to get on the brakes. The bikes themselves are quite different to what you'd expect. So it's almost the twist and go type technology. You have no gear lever and you have no back brake either. So you got your back brake over here and the front brake over here. So I found myself sort of heading into corners and pumping my foot down looking for the back brake, and there wasn't a brake there. It didn't take very long, however, to work out that it's actually quite nice having the brakes on the front, and it just frees you up so you can keep your body position quite centered in the middle of the bike without actually having to reach or move around too much. So we've had a day's riding. We started out this morning doing some really basic stuff. So I learned a lot of stuff this morning. I learned a bit about transitions, sort of going from a seated position into a turn. I usually sit down and put my foot out. Apparently you don't do that. You put your foot down as you sit down into the corner. So we did some of that this morning. We did some weighted peg stuff and a lot of really sort of basic skill stuff, which essentially a brand new rider could do or learn before they sort of tackle the course. So Neil's training techniques today have been very progressive. So I've come along today, like most bikers, thinking I don't need to learn a thing, and very quickly realized that there were small basic fundamental things that really no one had ever showed me how to do. So I think there's definitely things I'll take away from today that will mean that will make me a better rider in the future. So all the way around the track today you've got sections where you have the choice of going the easy route or a little arrow says hard, and the hard is actually quite challenging in places. So you've got things like half pipes, you've got big tractor tires that have been set in the ground, there's lots of logs, there's some nice drop-offs, there's some nice vertical climbs, and progressively throughout the course of the day you just take on more. So you've got a 5-mile circuit here, and you've also got a 7-mile circuit, which is really great, because when you're riding around on a short motocross circuit you've probably got 12 corners and 10 jumps. Whereas here, if you're riding for 7 miles, it's really interesting. You go through sort of farmland, it's almost adventure riding to a certain point. And then you've got the mix of all of this behind us. Today's been a really fun experience. So if you've never ridden a bike before, you can come down here, they can show you how the thing operates, they can take you, you know, very progressively riding through the cones in the small sort of cordoned off area on a small track. By the afternoon you'll be riding all around here on the bigger track. It's a little bit of something for everyone really. So if you want to come down and just experience what off-road's about, get some skills behind you, then you can develop those things.